Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I welcome you all back. And if there are any questions in the Quranic part, we can take it now before we start the grammar session. Till then, I'll start sharing my grammar screen. So any questions, you can get them now. Right, so if there are no questions, then we can start. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So we are on course 4 and grammar. We are doing with page 15. This is the last page or the last chapter, so to say, of this session. Page 15 is the 15th page of the Quran, of the Hafzi Quran. Pointer D is the last session or the last part of it. We have been studying Jumlatul Ismiya, and in that today, inshallah, we'll be learning the feminine gender. What we have done last time was the masculine gender. So Arabic is divided into two parts, Sarf and Nahu, and these are, we'll just make it simple. So Sarf is the different forms that a word gets as it changes. So Fa'il, Maf'ul, Fi'lun, Fi'l, Fa'altum, Fa'altu, Yaf'alu, Yaf'aluna, present tense, past tense, all that is Sarf, okay, which comes from the three root letters of the verb. And Nahu is the different things that it changes, the pairs that it forms and the sentences that it forms, and the change in the i'rab that happens, all that will form in the Nahu. So in this comes the ending of the certain vav, noon, ya, noon, fatha, dhamma, qasra, what will come? That is all the Nahu. Okay. So this we saw last time, normal sentence, al-baytu kabirun, the house is big. If you make it al-baytu al-kabir, the big house, that is not a complete sentence. Or if we say Baytun Kabirun, also is not a complete sentence, right? This is what we had done. Allahu Ghafurun, Allah is forgiving. Al Baytu Kabirun, the house is big. Al Muslimu Sadiqun, the Muslim is truthful. Al Muslimuna Sadiquna, the Muslims are truthful, right? So this is, if there is a plural, then the plural adjective will also be plural. And similarly, today what we are going to see is if the word is feminine, the plural will also be, or the adjective also will be feminine. Mawsuf sifat. Right. So in this, we will learn nominal sentence of the feminine gender. Right. So madrasah is the school, and the school is feminine word in Arabic. Now, how we identify that this verb is feminine is that there is a ta at the end. That is how we identify that it's a feminine word. So this is ta'i marbuta, right? So al madrasatu, we will not say it kabirun, we will say it kabiratun, because madrasa is feminine, right? Now this is a complete sentence because it is starting with an al. It's a definite thing, the school, and this is nakira. So this is indefinite, and this makes the sentence complete. If I say al madrasatul kabiratu, it would mean that the big school, and then it is not a complete sentence. Or if I say madrasatun kabiratun, also is not a complete sentence. It means big school. And al madrasatul kabiratul, the big school. When I say al madrasatul kabiratun, it means the school is big. Similarly, Muslim feminine form will be muslimah or muslimatun. Al muslimah, the Muslim lady. Sadiqatun is truthful. The Muslim lady is truthful. Now, if I say muslimatun sadiqatun, truthful Muslim. Al-Muslimatul Sadiqatul, the truthful Muslim. But when I say Al-Muslimatu Sadiqatun, without Al in the second word, it means the Muslim lady is truthful. Now, if we make the plural of this, we already know that you have to put Ata. So, Al-Muslimatu, the Muslim women, that is plural, Sadiqatun are truthful, right? So, instead of is, in English, we'll now use are. So, Al-Muslimatu Sadiqatu. What it means that when the ibtada is muannas, feminine, the khabar is also feminine. The adjective will also be feminine. If it is singular, muslimah, then it will be singular. If it is mata, plural, then the plural will also be, the adjective will also be plural. Right? This is simple, and we have done this before. So this is like a revision only, so no new heavy thing in the grammar. The believer is pious. Al-mu'minatun salihatun. Al-mu'mina the believer, a female Muslim believer, a female believer, salihatun, is pious, right? Then we have the plural of that, al-mu'minatu, the female believers, salihatun, are pious, right? So when the feminine form is used, feminine form is in English. You see, there is no she believers. We should have put a she in the bracket to know that this is being taught for a feminine. Munafiqun is for male, munafiqatun is for female, and al munafiqatu is singular. The hypocrite woman, fasiqatun, is disobedient. Fasiq is disobedient. Al munafiqatu, fasiqatu. Okay, so these are the simple sentences of the feminine form with the adjectives. Now give me the sentence in plural. So I will say the singular form and then you can tell me the plural form, right? So al-muslimatu sadiqatu, sadiqatun.
Al-muslimatu sadiqatun.
Al-muslimatu sadiqatun.
Sadiqatun, mashallah. Al-mu'minatu salihatun.
Al-mu'minatu
salihatun.
Right. When we are stopping, we can say salihah, but I'm saying it so that we understand the grammar part. Al-munafiqatu fasiqatun.
Al-munafiqatu fasiqatun.
Fasiqatun, mashallah. So this is simple. Today's grammar was not very difficult. Now give me the, sorry. This we did. Now the feminine form, I'll tell you the masculine form and you give me the feminine form. Al-muslimu sadiqun.
Al-muslimatu sadiqatun.
Sadiqatun. We just have to take the feminine form, not the plural. Al-mu'minu salihun.
Al-mu'minatu
Salihatun, not salihatun. Salihatun. See, a little difference would change it to plural. That's why we have to be very careful in our recitation also. Sometimes what happens is we already know one word, it is in our mind and it is prejudiced, and we have read it so many times. So we'll say salihat only because we have heard salihat many times. But that's why we have to be very careful. Salihat would be in a plural, but here it is salihatun, which means it's a singular. Right? Munafiqun fasiqun.
Al-munafiqatu fasiqah.
Fasiqatun, right? So now again, when we are pronouncing or when we are reading, we have to be careful on that. So when we are stopping, we can say it as fasiqah. But you have to say that fasiqah properly with a ha, not fasiqah like normally we write in English, right? So fasiqah, right? And when there is a plural, it will be fasiqat. The ta sound will come and the ta will have a hums. Fasiqat. So that is how, while hearing also, you'll know what is being said and it will be clear to you. So when you practice that way, when you're hearing, you know that what is being used. We have learned in the 13th lesson, 13b, that broken plurals, even if they are masculine, they act as a singular feminine noun, right? So baitun is actually masculine, but the plural of it is buyut, and buyut becomes a singular feminine noun. So the words that will be used instead of for buyut will be singular feminine noun. We'll see the examples of it. Masjidun is masjid, and the plural of that is masajid. So this is again broken plural. It is not masjiduna. That's why this is a broken plural, right? Jama muqassar, we call it, because the word gets broken somewhere and then something is added, deleted, or it changes. We have jabalun, jibalun. This is also broken plural, right? So sound plural is when we have vav noon or ya noon or ata in the end. When the word changes, it is a broken plural. When it is a broken plural, even if the object is masculine, the usage grammatically, it becomes singular feminine noun, right? So we'll see the examples of that. So al-masajidu, plural of masjid is masajid. Masajid is a broken plural. That is why the word used is qadimatun. It is not qadimun. It is qadimatun. Why? Because masajid is a broken plural. Jama mukassar. Al-masajidu qadimatun. The mosques or masajids are old. Baitun is singular. Plural is buyut. Buyut is a broken plural. Al-buyutu jadidatun. We can say it is jadidah also. The houses are new. Okay. Al-jibalu, the mountains. Jabalun, plural is jibal. Al-jibalu kabiratun, are big. So the jibal is masculine, but the plural is jibal, which is being used as singular feminine. That's why we don't have the word is plural. Masajid is plural, but we are not saying kadimat. No, we are saying kadimah. Buyut, we are saying not jadidat. We are saying jadidah. Al jibalu, we are saying kabira. We are not saying kabirat, right? Instead of this being a plural. So this is being considered as a feminine singular noun when the broken plurals are used. So even if the word is plural, the word, the adjective used will be of a singular feminine noun. Is that clear? Or
Yes,
any
yes.
confusion? Yeah. So just remember that when there is a broken plural, even if it is a plural, the feminine singular form is used, not feminine plural form. So feminine plural forms will be used for feminine plurals like Muslimat, Sadiqat, Mu'minat, Salihat, that way. Right? So now give me the sentence in plurals. So al-masjidu qadimun.
المساجد قديمة
Masajid qadimatun.
Qadimatun, not qadimat, qadimatun or qadimah. Al-baytu jadidun.
البيوت
Al-buyutu
جديدة
jadidah.
Jadidah. Al-jabalu kabirun.
الجبال
Al-jibalu
كبيرة
kabira.
Kabira. MashaAllah. So this is simple grammar for today. Only thing is you have to keep in mind this fact of broken plural and the singular feminine form that is used. For simple words, it's not a problem, but when the sentence comes in complexities, sometimes start wondering that this is a masculine word and why a feminine adjective is used. So remember this rule. So that was all for the grammar today. Now we can have discussion if we have any points to be discussed. Other thing that I want feedback from you is for next Sunday, do you want a revision of all the grammar of the level 4? So we can have one session just on the grammatical points that we have to keep in mind for the 4th level book. And then after that, we can keep one exam. Or if you're already prepared, we can keep the exam next Sunday itself. If you all don't want the revision, because if most of you all are have understood the concepts, then we will not revise, we can go direct. And we had 2 weeks of break. So in that, if you had good revisions, then we can go directly for the exam next week. So what do you want? You can let me know now or maybe in the group. The group is still open, so you can put it in the group. Any other questions for today's session of the grammar or for the Quran part? We can take questions now.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
सर लास्ट संडे का ग्रामर पार्ट यूट्यूब पे लोड नहीं हुआ है
नहीं, वो लेट लोड हुआ है ऑलरेडी आ चुका है, थोड़ा लेट लोड हुआ है वो काफी.
नहीं अभी तक नहीं मिल रहा है
अभी तक नहीं आया. एक मिनट में चेक
नहीं
करता हूं क्योंकि
दोनों पोर्शन कुरान पार्ट के ही हैं.
नहीं है, इसमें तो आ रहा है, मेरे उसमें दिखा रहा है और 6 लोगों ने व्यू भी किया है इसको.
फिर भी चैनल में तो सब कुछ रहता है ना.
हाँ नहीं, तो उसमें ऑलरेडी दिख रहा है इसमें 15C का ग्रामर भी आया हुआ है और ये भी आया हुआ है दोनों.
लेकिन सर उसको हम ये करना तो कुरान पार्ट ही आ रहा है, उसमें ग्राम पार्ट लिखा हुआ है ग्रामर पार्ट.
हाँ,
लेकिन वो है एक्चुअली कुरान पार्ट ही है.
अच्छा ठीक है, फिर मैं उसको अपलोड कर दूंगा इंशाल्लाह, नो प्रॉब्लम.
ये कंटिन्यूटी में जो है हमारे पास उसमें थोड़ा डिसकंटिन्यू हो रहा है.
अच्छा ठीक है, मैं इसको इंशाल्लाह लोड करता हूँ वापस, नो प्रॉब्लम.
सारे लेक्चर्स रिकॉर्डेड है हमारे पास.
हाँ मैं इंशाल्लाह वापस लोड करता हूँ उसको, क्योंकि इसमें सिस्टम में है मेरे, तो इंशाल्लाह करता हूँ मैं. हाँ क्योंकि इसमें दोनों सेम दिख रहा है, बराबर बोल रहे हैं आप. उसका हेडिंग अलग है मगर वो दिख रहा है सेम. ठीक है इंशाल्लाह. शायद वो लोड करते करते आगे पीछे हो गया है. अच्छा बता दिया आपने, तो इंशाल्लाह मैं उसको रेक्टिफाई कर देता हूँ.
जज़ाकल्लाह खैर.
जज़ाकल्लाह खैर.
Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू.
Wallah. Yeah, the translation here is and Allah. And sometimes the wa is come as a oath or a qasam.
Yes. So what is the difference in that? You only tell me. We have done this before, so you only tell me what is the difference. When is a waw kasmiya? After kasam, what comes? The noun that comes will be having what? Arab. I'll take the screen and I'll write on it. Okay, just a moment. Okay, I'll take this white screen. So when we have a vav kasmiya and a regular vav, how are we going to differentiate that? That is a question. So when we have va and we have Allah after it.
Good question.
Okay, so I'll write this again so that we can have the differences made clear.
Wow.
And I'll take some other color for the Arab. I'll take a black color this time. Okay. So we have va. So I'll take a smaller version. Va. Wallah. Who. And Wallah. He. So when this vav is vav kasmiya or a vav of promise, you have wallahi. So you would have heard a lot of this Arab saying wallahi, wallahi. Wallahi means Allah ki qasam. And wallahu means and Allah. Okay. So this Arab makes all the difference in the meaning. So written wise, you'll find the same things. Wallah, wallah. But if this is an wallahi, it is vav kasmiya. Kasmiya. Vav of qasam, vav of promise. This is not writing properly. I'll write it in the text. Vow of vow. 9 considered as vow of vow. Right? A vow of vow, that is promise. This is vow of promise when there is a kasra at the Allah or for anything else. If you're taking any other promise, it will be wal, whatever other word, but we are allowed to take promise only of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not anything else, because that indicates that we are giving something more importance than Allah. If we are giving or taking a promise of anybody else other than Allah, we are giving that thing more importance, and that can be considered as a shirk also. So if you have to take a promise, take Allah's promise, otherwise don't take any promises. Okay, I hope this is clear.
Yes, it is clear.
And
Jazakallah, Jazak.
does it mean this wow with Allah he is a huruf jar?
Yeah, so then when vav is used as a huruf jar, then it is a kasmiya. This is called as vav kasmiya. Then it is no more vav atifa or and. When there is normal dhamma here, it means and Allah. Okay. Right. So if you want, you can just take a pic of this so that you.
This is also jumla ismiya, no?
Wallahu yaqtasu. Wallahu yaqtasu, and Allah chooses.
This is also jumla ismiya, no?
Jumla ismiya, yes. It is a nominal sentence. That's right. So the grammar that we did, it is a nominal sentence.
And
Wallahu and Allah yaqtasu, chooses.
Walal mushrikina is not mushrikuna. So what is the reason?
I'll just take that screen itself so it will become easier for everybody to understand also. The Quran part, okay?
Is it because of min?
No, wait. I'll just go back. Yeah. So, ma yawaddul ladhina kafaru min ahlil kitab wa min al mushrikin, and from the ahlil kitab and from the mushrikin. So this effect of this min,
no?
The effect of this min is coming on this mushrik also.
Kitabi
Min,
also.
yeah. Otherwise, it will mean if min is not there, allazina kafaru, it should have been al ahlul kitab. If min was not there, because of this min, we are getting ahlil kitab, and because of the same min, we are getting wal mushrikina, not mushrikuna.
Correct.
Right. So here this min is meaning any good, and here is min means from. So depending upon the words that are following, the meaning of the word also changes. This min means any, and this means from. Understood that part?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And this we have learned this Jamai Mukassar,
Yes.
which is broken plural.
Yes.
But we also sometimes say it is a Gair Akil, means neutral.
Yeah, Gair Akil also. That's right. That also
neutral
is.
gender. So
Correct.
wherever
Correct.
this neutral gender is there, we used to Wahid Muannas.
Correct. Wahid Muannas. Correct. So single, feminine, plural. The usage of the words will come accordingly. So sometimes you'll wonder that why are you getting a feminine form? This is one of the reasons. So if you know this rule, then it is beneficial for you to understand. And this is commonly used grammar, so it is nothing very hi-fi grammar. But people who are using it generally will not sort of utilize it or say it as a this thing, you know. So for them, it is taken for granted. For us, it is like a grammatical point which you have to learn and understand and think. Yeah, so I wanted a feedback. What do you all want next week? You want a small revision of all the grammatical points of this course, or you want to go for the exam directly, and then we can continue for the last book?
We'll have one revision.
Okay. So we'll have one revision, and then after that, we'll have one test.
Direct test.
Inshallah.
That is a day, 15 days we will get.
Yeah, 15 days you're getting already.
From today?
Yeah, from today. So next week, we'll have one revision, wherein I just take the important slides and make one presentation, and inshallah, we can then just revise the grammar completely of this book. And in between, there are little points which are important, and a lot of commonly used words in the weaker words. Sometimes there's confusion in that. So that revision will be inshallah good. What we did for the last two sessions is, I think, very simple. That is just maybe 2 slides. But the weak words and the changes of the words are and that is what the main part of this level 4 was. And you keep seeing these changes happening regularly. Now with the power of grammar that you have, when you see those words with those forms, you'll know, okay, why this noon is dropped here, why this there is a fatha, or why there is a sukoon.
Yes, sir.
Inshallah. Okay. Right. Any other questions? So actually, we sometimes feel that the when Allah Ta'ala says that every ayat it's an ayat, it's a sign. So only when we delve deeper into the meanings of it, we will be able to get the sign out of that. So in today's ayat also, it is like a simple order that Allah Ta'ala is saying that La taqulu ra'ina wa qul unzurna wasma'u wal kafirin azabun alim. But if you're analyzing, we have so many things to analyze in that, and how Allah Ta'ala is knowing the intentions of people. We know that fact that huwa alimun bi dhati sudur, he knows what is there in your hearts, and this ayat is an implementation of that. So what was there in the hearts of the Jews, Allah Ta'ala has kept it plainly open for the Muslims of that time to understand their thought process. Okay, so there are a lot of things that we can learn if we introspect, if we actually go delve deep into the ayah, and that will give us a better understanding of everything, inshallah. And that is the hikmah that the Quran has. So only when we are delving deep into the ayat, we will be getting these finer points. If you're just reading through, then maybe we miss these points because we're not pondering over it. So if we ponder over the ayat, we know that how at the same level when the Sahabis were not able to understand what was the intention of the Jews by saying this word Ra'ina again and again, it is Allah Ta'ala who's clarifying to them that this is what it is, and don't say these words, and Allah Ta'ala then give them the option of using another word, which is unzurna. So if you just read the meaning of this ayat and just go ahead, you'll feel, okay, there's nothing in this for me. But if you analyze it deeper, then there are so many lessons that we can take from it, that your language that you're using is so important, and also the respect that we should have for the Prophet whenever we are speaking about him also, and the etiquette that the Sahabis were supposed to follow when they were with the Prophet, and what respect Allah Ta'ala commands the believers to give the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There are so many lessons. If we just dissect out and try to understand more and more, the knowledge of the Quran is like unending, and maybe one ayat would give some thoughts to somebody and more thoughts to some other people. But the more we delve into it, the more you will get what Allah wants from us. So if you just see the meaning of that, and maybe we'd have read it so many times, but if we really analyze it deeply, then there are so many things, so many lessons that we have to take from from each ayat actually. And that's why Allah Ta'ala says that these are the ayat of the Quran. Every ayat is a sign. And we have to try to dig into it and find what is the sign for me in this. Right? Any other comments or any other queries?
In this book, we have learned a lot of this Hurufe Nasiba, Hurufe Jazima,
Correct.
and Hurufe Jar.
Correct.
There's a big group, a big list of words, no?
Yes. So actually, lot of grammar has been covered in this, and technically speaking, when people learn the classical way, this is considered very, very difficult. I think you would have known, because I think you would have you studied grammar and you know it. But I feel the way it has been presented in this book, it doesn't feel so difficult. What is your opinion on that?
Definitely, it makes simpler when we have the example of Quran.
Yeah.
Because we relate it.
Reading it. Correct.
Daily,
in and out. Right. So when anybody is learning grammar from any other way or any other source, which I have done, I used to feel it is so difficult, and how would anybody sort of learn? But
because
yes. So here it is.
That way is normally routine and ratne ka jaisa. And we actually relate.
We are actually practicing it. That is the power of this book, and the technique that it is giving. That is what I find very nice, and that's why I've
normally we don't read or speak Arabic, but we read Quran, and then it is very easy to relate to these words.
Allah has made the Quran easy. It is our job that we make it
that
easy.
Book is also perfect, no? So there is no element of doubt. So,
absolutely. Alhamdulillah.
Zu is also one of these, no? Zul Fazlil, Zuzazi.
Zuzazi, yeah.
Huruf, no?
This is also huruf, correct.
Like Jazi, this is like Jar, Huruf Jar, no?
Huruf Jar. So that also has gone today. Zul Fadlil Azim. So Zu is Wala, matlab possessor of. In English we say possessor of. So like we say Pan Wala, Ye Wala, Wo Wala. Just to get that concept of Zu, it is something Wala. So Zu Fadlil Azim means Fazal, Bade Fazal Wala. So wherever Zu comes, it means Wala or possessor of. Somebody who has something. And that also is Huruf Jar, and that's why we have Zu Fadlin Azim. But this also can change. It can become Zu, Za, Zi, depending upon what is the previous thing. Matlab. So it is not only Zu, it can be Za also, and it can be Z also.
Right.
Depending on its case.
Ma'ruf, Mansub, or Majroor.
That's right.
Like Zil Jalali.
Dul Jalali wal Ikram. Some places you have Zil Jalali wal Ikram. That will depend upon what case.
Position.
Yes, position of it.
Correct.
Right. Any other queries? So then what we'll do is next Sunday we'll have a revision, and the Sunday after that we will have a test, and after that inshallah we'll start with the last book, and may Allah Ta'ala make it easy for us, and may Allah Ta'ala make it easy for us to spread this, since it is simplified for us. I think we should try and see that even if we can teach anybody a little part of it, even the book 1, I think if somebody who has no knowledge, if he's taught this book 1 only, at least his salah will become good, and the ajr of that will be with whoever is doing that. And also I think we should have some way where we can have other people join in. Maybe Qazi Sahab, I think I'll talk to you otherwise also, and we can have another session on starting from beginning. At least the book 1 should be continued. Thoroughly. Yeah, it should be done thoroughly, and that is something that should be taught to a lot of people. See, everybody may not reach this level of grammar. We had started with 150 participants, and now we just have about 5 regular people. But alhamdulillah, I feel at least these 5 are the crown on the glory, and you all would have the responsibility of sort of parting this knowledge to at least your own people around you, your family, close family, and all that. And that is how the noor of this would go on increasing, and that will also serve as a jaza for you in the akhirah, because whatever you teach and that knowledge, if that spreads, that is something that you cannot achieve by your own amal. How much ever amal you do, if your good amal is parted to somebody and that person is parting into somebody else, it is in today's terminology like they call this marketing. No, what is it called? MBA people use this marketing technique of royalty and what's it called? It has got
Networking.
some word. Networking, not networking. It is called wherein you just keep getting a royalty and people under you are sort of working. But there, what happens is that the money is divided. Here, alhamdulillah, Allah Ta'ala will not reduce the sawab of anybody, and still everybody will get that share of the sawab. And in today's world, we have to know what Allah Ta'ala wants, because the people are wanting to make the practice of the religion sort of look difficult and all that. But it is straightforward. It is simple. We have to gain knowledge to realize the importance of it. If we don't gain knowledge, then we are also going away, and the whole sort of ummah would go away. So at least if we can spark a light somewhere and get that noor going, that noor will inshallah go on increasing, and that noor is what is going to help us in the akhirah on the pul sirat. And without that, there is no way out. Otherwise, there is just darkness all around, and we have to see that we kindle this noor in as many hearts as possible.
Inshallah. It's finishing of this 4 book.
Yeah.
And if we revise the first book, then words like mustaqim, nasta'in, it becomes more meaningful.
Yes.
More understandable.
Yes. Of course.
If you
already have the book,
not so much.
Correct. So there it is. All those details were not saying. So mustaqim is the istaqama. So you know that it's a 10th form.
Yeah.
Istaghfara. Right. So the root word there is kama yakum only. But you are seeking that straight path. Then it becomes very simple for you to understand. Mustaqim is what? The seeking of the straight path. Istaqama is to seek that straight path. Yeah.
Iyaka na'budu, iyaka nasta'in.
Nasta'in. Ana ya'unu. The root word is ana ya'unu, means to help. Ana ya'unu. With the same word we had ta'awun. Ta'awun karo. You hear a lot of times, masjid ke liye ta'awun karo. That comes from ana ya'unu. And ista'in is seeking that help. And with that also comes the word musta'an on the 10th form. So with the forms, whatever we have done till now would really cover 90 or little more than 90% of the vocabulary, and basically it is application. If you know one form and now you know how it is having its conjugation or sarf, then any other word with a different root word, and how is the conjugation and how the meaning changes with it. And the forms on how the words change with the form, and the effect of that on the words also.
We also know many words are like have some differently meaning, like daraba means marna, but daraba means also having bayan karna. Yeah.
So actually the meaning is same only. Daraba, that is the different shades of the meaning. Just say in Hindi also we say the mar matlab mar, daraba, right? But when we are in the rickshaw, we'll say right mar, left mar. So there is no not hitting anybody. It is that he's turning that way. So every language has its little different shades of meaning in the same word. So something like that. So daraba, which means to strike actually. So daraba masala means to strike.
The different art of this usage of different words.
Different
like
usages
zahaba
are
also. Right. Zahaba also zahaba Allahu bi nurim.
Correct.
Normally zahaba is used for jana, ana, gaya.
So there also is same. So zahaba means to go only, right? But the zahaba, if it is followed by B,
how it is used
with. So it has gone with means taken away. That way.
Yeah. In translation, it becomes like that.
Correct. Because there's a B following it, no? So zahaba means to go. So go with means take away. If I say go with this, which means you take this away. You know, that way. So it is actually quite straightforward, but with the preposition following it, sometimes the meaning or the effect of the meaning changes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good journey, learning. 4 books are very useful. Makes a beautiful journey.
Okay, so if there are no other questions, then inshallah we can stop for today. Next, inshallah, week we'll have the revision of the grammar only. And after that, inshallah, test, and then we go ahead, inshallah. Okay. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.